All right, welcome aboard. Today we're going to be making some basic chicken, broccoli, and rice. First thing we're going to start off with is the rice. It takes the longest. It's going to take around, depending on your rice cooker, around maybe 25 minutes. That's what we're going to do. One portion of the rice on the package, it says right here 45 grams, but we're going to use about 60 grams for my serving. So we'll tear this out so this is 0. I'll pour 60 grams in. Not too much, we'll take some out. Keep in mind, I've already washed my hands before this video. 60 grams. Next step with your rice, you want to wash it. Put a little bit of water in there. Swirl it around. After a little bit, you'll notice that it'll get a little cloudy on the water. Just be really aggressive with the rice as we're washing it here. Try and rinse off all that starches. You just rinse it out. The water's really murky, if you can see that. Put some more in. And repeat. You just do this a couple times till the water's clear when you start running it through. Second time around, the water's not going to be nearly as murky. But still, you want to try and get off as much of those starches. It's a little less murky, but still a little. So we're going to do one more rinse through. And most of the starches should be off by now. Ignore all the dirty dishes. I was going to wash them after I finish making this food. But this recipe only uses a couple dishes, so it doesn't really require that much. This time around, the water's still slightly murky, but it's mostly clear, so it should be good enough to use. We'll drain out the water. I put in 60 grams of rice, so I'm going to put in about 150 grams of water. Let's get a little cup. You might have to adjust with the water amount based on your rice cooker, but as long as you're using a 1-to-2 ratio, it should be fine. A little rice on the shells, get it all leveled up. I'll put the rice cooker to cook. Turn it on, use the white rice function. And I'm gonna set a timer just so I know how much time I have left on this. It's approximately 25 minutes. So around the 10-minute mark, when the rice is about done, I'm going to put the chicken breast on. Because the chicken breast only takes 10 minutes, so I want them to come out around the same time. So now that I have the rice started cooking, I'll put the rice up. I'm going to start prepping the broccoli. Put the rice up. I have this plate here because I was going to use this to weigh out. On the bag, you'll see it says one serving size is about 85 grams. I like to use about 140 grams of broccoli personally with my meal. So we'll tear this out to where it's zeroed out. We'll just add broccoli until it's about 140. Mm. 20. Little small florets. 30. A little bit more. This should be good enough. 33. Put this on. This brings it to 144. I'm going to trim it up a little. So, when you're cooking the broccoli, you want them to be smaller pieces, not these big bunches, but we're going to leave them in these big bunches as we rinse it off a little with some water. And then we'll break them down into smaller pieces in a second. Just take the little broccoli head. When you rinse the broccoli, you don't rinse it like this because the water kind of just floats on top. You want to do it like underneath like this. The water gets through more easily. And rinse these off. A little bit of florets. Now, we'll break these little florets into smaller pieces so they can cook evenly on the skillet. So, when you cut the broccoli, you only have to go about halfway into the stem, and then you just pull apart. It'll break off easily. If you just chop through the whole thing, it'll leave a lot of these little floret pieces all over your cutting board. Just makes it easier. Makes less of a mess. So you want to make these nice and small so they cook it nice and even. Like this big piece, you do not want it this big. Cut off the stem a little. This piece is already breaking off. Now you can see the little broccoli florets. You just kind of have to like pick them off. So I cut down about halfway and I just break them apart. Still a little big on this one, so I'm going to try and trim it up a little. Two more to go. This one's easy. You can kind of see the lines already. And when you can't really see an outline, you just kind of cut it in half. Last piece. We'll just cut this one in half. See how it looks after. That should be good enough. So here's your broccoli. It's all nice and prepped. I'm going to leave it on this plate right here. Try and get some of that water off, the excess water. Cutting board's a little wet. I dry it off after I take off these little broccoli pieces. Napkin. So now, I'll prep the chicken breast. When you're working with the chicken breast, you want it to be dry. So I got another napkin to dry it off. This chicken breast, it's about 6 ounces, I believe. I've already weighed it before. It's It's a little bit higher because the plastic bag is adding to the weight too. It's around 6-ish, 6.5 ounces. Good enough for one serving size. And after you defrost the chicken breast, it's still going to be a little wet. So I got this extra napkin. I pat it dry a little. Lift this up. The part where it was just on. I'm patting it dry so it's nice and dry. I've been getting a little lazy with my seasoning, so what I typically do, I use this thing right here. This is my air fryer liner. It's really nice. Makes it, cleaning up the air fryer 10 times easier. So normally I will, cut it up, season it around, switch the pieces around, flip them around, season everything around. But now I'm getting a little lazier. So after I cut up the pieces, I cut them into smaller pieces so they cook better in the air fryer. I'm a little paranoid when it comes to cooking chicken. So I always try to make sure my chicken's cooked thoroughly. So like even the piece that's a little bit thicker for me, I'll cut it in half. So it's 2 thin pieces. Just put them around this air fryer liner. So this part, even though this is a chicken breast that I've already filleted once, some of the parts still a little thick for my liking, so I'll just make them even smaller. Cut it in half. It's that easy. I'll even cut these pieces into even smaller bite sizes. Maybe that previous piece too. This one's a little long. I trust you know how to use a knife to a degree. Cut it down the middle. It's still a little long, and just cut these pieces in half. This way the pieces cook a lot faster too, so you don't have to be as paranoid. There we go. This one's decently sized, so I won't cut it in half. I will make it into 2 smaller pieces, like that. Please make sure you've washed your hands before you've done any of these steps. I am running a little space, but you can just scrunch these around a little. And since I've been getting lazy with my seasoning, after I lay it in like that, now I'll get my seasoning, which I use lemon pepper. I can eat this stuff all day, every day. Now I'll add the seasoning. It's only going to be on the top half, but it's good enough for me. Just be careful with my seasoning appliance. More here and there. It's a good amount of seasoning on all the chicken. So now the chicken's prepped. On the rice cooker, we still have about 16 minutes left. Sorry, it's hard for me to angle my camera. So we have about 5 minutes of downtime. Almost everything's prepped. I'll try and leave like timestamps or something in the description so it can help kill out this dead time, because I don't want to edit like I don't know how to edit. And now you have basically almost everything set up. Last thing I'm going to do is get the butter ready, which I already had on the counter. You could use like some avocado oil. Like if you just use this to coat your pan, just like really quick, it's going to be like around, it's not exactly 0 calories, but it's close enough to just get a little non-stick going. But I like to use butter when I cook broccoli because it tastes really good. So I'll get about a tablespoon ready. tablespoon of butter. Get this ready for the broccoli. Put that there for now. Put my butter up. And now everything's basically prepped. So now you're just waiting to time it off with the rice. You don't always have to cook the rice right as you start your meal. You can always cook the rice and like leave it on the warm option, and the warm option will have your rice ready for a while. Like you leave it in there for hours. I've seen a video testing the bacteria levels when you leave the rice on warm. This little keep warm function. It's a little hard for me to shut it off, but there's a keep warm function on most rice cookers. It'll keep the rice bacteria free for a long time. And for the chicken, in the air fryer, just gonna leave it in here for now. Get it nice and prepped. Make sure when you're using an air fryer, something like that uses a lot of wattages, like the air fryer, make sure you don't use the same outlet as your rice cooker. Your rice cooker might also take a lot of like power, so you might flip your breaker if you use them both on the same outlet. So that's why I put one over here, and I use the other one all the way over here on this different outlet. Depends on how hungry your devices are with the power. I'll get this pan nice and toasted for when the broccoli's ready. Now, an optional thing you can use is like a little lid for when you're cooking the broccoli on a pan. Like you have the broccoli here, you'll have the butter already melted before you put the broccoli in. And to help get it like a little nice steam, you'll put the lid over it. So it's got little vents here, so like it'll get the broccoli nice and steamed up. So I'm gonna use this later on. Get it prepped. But yeah. At this point, we're just playing the waiting game, trying to time it all together. Go ahead and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. More meal content coming in soon. If you got any ideas, let me know. I'll show off my dog, Mr. Charlie. Where's Nova? I'm currently dog sitting my sister's dog too, Nova. She's barking at the other dog. Nova! Come here. Hello, Miss Nova. Ow! Calm down. Come here. Come here. And here's Charlie too. Oh, oh, oh. They're probably gonna fight each other because Nova gets pretty jealous pretty easily. They're just playing around. So here on the timer, we have about 11 minutes left for the rice. And you will see the timer on this pop up soon. It's just, I don't know what triggers it. It's around 22 to 28 minutes. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower. But you will see a little timer on here. But for the chicken breast, let's get it started cooking. So we can always leave it in the air fryer to keep it warm. I'm gonna put it at 350 degrees for about 11 minutes. I believe is what I do normally. And that'll get it nice and cooked. An optional thing you can do, I've been getting a lot lazier recently, is once it's about halfway, so around the 5-minute mark, you can get some tongs. You can flip the chicken breast over each little piece. That way it cooks really evenly on both sides, but as you saw with my seasoning, I only seasoned half of it, so I've been getting really lazy. Sometimes you just want the food. So in about 11 minutes, that's gonna cook. Hopefully soon this little timer will pop up too, and it'll show 10 minutes. The broccoli cooks really fast. Cooks around maybe 6 minutes. So we get the broccoli and get a little spatula to flip it around with. Going to use this bad boy. Gotta get a nice little treat. Hopefully we have some Dr. Pepper Zeros. Oh, we do. I'll put this one in the freezer so it gets nice and cold. And my food's ready. And I was just using this as guidance, so I can turn this off now. So now I'm basing off the chicken. Chicken should be done around 10 minutes. So when it's about 4 minutes into this, so like around the 6-minute mark, I'm gonna start cooking the broccoli. The broccoli doesn't take that long to cook. And we rinsed it earlier, so the broccoli is a little wet. So it should steam up a little bit when we put it in the pan as well. And we're gonna use that steam with this lid to help cook it a little bit better too. Now it's just the waiting game. Mr. Charlie. So, here we are waiting. Hopefully I find something in my description to leave little chapters, because I don't want to... I mean, you can just skim forward. You can kind of see it. You can tell when it's ready. Like, you can skip forward 4 minutes. I'm not going to stop the recording and then restart it and splice 2 videos together, because I'm pretty lazy. I'm a lazy guy. You saw the way I seasoned my chicken. I'm a lazy guy. Okay? At this point, you've basically done all the steps. You're waiting for the rice to finish. It's just a timer. You cut up the chicken. You seasoned it. Now you're just waiting for the timer. Broccoli, really easy to pan sear. Not hard at all. That's how I prefer to make my broccoli. I pan sear. I have done the steaming as well. I like my broccoli a little bit more firm when I eat. And I get to add the butter as well, which I can get a lot more flavor from the broccoli from the butter into the broccoli whenever I pan sear, versus like trying to add it into the boiling pot of water whenever you steam it. Yeah, now we're just waiting. Eight minutes left on this. Charlie's chewing on a bone. I'm surprised the timer for the white rice hasn't gone off. Normally it's already like ticking down from 10, but I guess it's been a little slower for some reason. Still 7 minutes left. I think it's okay to start cooking the broccoli. Just as I say that. So here we go. So within 10 more minutes for the broccoli. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it's got 10 minutes. So in 10 more minutes, it'll be ready. So we might have put the chicken on a little early, but it's fine, because like if you just leave this closed, or if you open it to vent out the excess heat a little and then close it back up without turning it on, it'll leave the chicken nice and warm. So it's not the end of the world if you mistime it like I have right now. But since the rice is still 10 minutes, I'm going to wait for this to go about the 6-minute mark to start cooking my broccoli. We got the chicken. And yeah, I basically eat this every day. It's a staple of my diet at the moment. I'll mix up between this chicken and rice. I'll mix it up with this chicken Alfredo that I made a video about earlier as well. That way I just have some variety. But in that chicken Alfredo video, I am using protein pasta, not just regular pasta. So I help with the macros. It's like eating this, you pair it alongside like the overnight oats. Take a little protein shake here and there to help bump up the calories, well, bump up the protein. And you have a pretty good diet. Man, I just finished working out, so I drank a bunch of water. So now I have to really use the bathroom. I do not want to stop this recording, but I'm lazy. I don't want to edit videos. It's all done in one go. You having fun with that bone, Charlie? Bum, 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 bum. Always make sure you have chicken breasts ready. Never forget to defrost them, you know? That chicken breast, it's already filleted. When it's not filleted, it'll look something like this. This one's my other one that I have defrosted because that was my last one. These things are big, right? Well, at least I think I already filleted this one. You can kind of see it. It's already cut a little. It's hard to tell through all the ice because this isn't defrosted yet. This is for my dinner. One portion of this will be my dinner at least. Seven minutes left on the rice. Don't know if you can see that well, but that's good enough for me. So I'm going to start cooking the broccoli now. I'm going to turn this down a little. The temperature, even at medium heat for the burner, it's enough to burn the butter. It'll start smoking like that. I'm going to turn it down a little. That's why it's getting all browned. Smoking point of butter is not that high. So we'll throw on all this broccoli as well. Let that pan sit for a bit. Put this little lid on it so it gets nice and steamed up while it's cooking. Oh, look who decided to show up. Fish Nova. Here I am staring at your reflection. Hey, chill. Just mess with the wire. So here in a bit. See, I did a little too early, but you got the general idea. In 2 more minutes, the chicken breast will be done. It's only mistimed by a little bit. A couple minutes. 4 minutes. I'm sorry, in 6 minutes, the white rice will be done. Letting this steam up a little bit. In a minute, I'm just gonna stir it around so it gets nice cooked evenly. And then when it's towards the end of when the broccoli's done, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Just for some flavor. You can also add salt and pepper. I'm just gonna use salt. It's got a nice, more deep green color now that we've started to pan sear it with the butter. We're also using that little bit of water that we used from rinsing it off earlier to help get the steam going. I forgot to mention that the broccoli I bought is already pre-washed. That's why I didn't really wash it. I just gave it a little rinse. I don't want to put the lid back on because then it'll get a little too mushy if I use too much of the lid. I like my broccoli a little bit more firm. But if you like it more squishy, you can leave that lid on, let it steam up more. So here, chicken breast is almost done. We're just playing the waiting game. POV, you're a fly getting ready for your food. Yeah. You always take a fork to tell how done the broccoli is. You just poke it with the fork, see how tender it is. Cook to your liking. So the chicken breast timer went off. So we go to the air fryer. Oh man, I dropped my spatula. I have these little oven mitts here so I can put the air fryer. So as we can see, oh, that chicken breast is nice and done. I'm gonna leave it partially closed, not fully. That way the heat from the air fryer keeps it nice and warm. So we still have 3 more minutes left. R.I.P. the spatula. Let's just use you. Bum, 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 bum. It's getting a nice little char on the broccoli too. It's starting to smell really good too as well. At this point, once most of the waters that we use from rinsing it off is evaporated off, I'm going to add the salt to the broccoli. That'll help draw out the last of the moisture and give it a good, nice little salty taste. Now the broccoli's nice and charred. The rice is almost done as well. Last thing you need is your appetite. Well, I scratched that. Your appetite and one more thing. Lower this a little more. I'll lower the heat down a little bit more, 2 to 3. So at this point, it's basically done. So all we used for this broccoli is butter. Put the lid on, steamed a bit. Added the salt to it. It's going to be really nice. Since the rice is almost done, I'm going to turn that off. The rice is beeping now. I'm going to let this open because all that steam is going to come from the rice cooker. Let it cool down a bit. Let this cook just from the residual heat. Now, some tongs. Boop, boop. Get the chicken breast. Actually, let me do the rice first. This plate's a little wet. Let me use a different plate just so I don't have wet chicken. New plate. I'm gonna wash dishes here in a bit anyway, it doesn't matter. First thing I'm gonna do is rice. Normally I just use that same spatula that I dropped on the floor. So I'm gonna use one of these little rice scoopers. The pot is gonna be really hot, so I normally use a little hand towel. Grab it like so. The rice is nice, fluffy. You might have to experiment with how much water you use in your rice cooker, but like I said earlier, I use 60 grams of rice to 150 grams of water. It comes out pretty nice for a nice little one portion. Just have to do a little experimenting with your rice cooker. Might be steaming up the camera, I can't tell. So here we go. First part, rice. Check. Second part, chicken. Oh, baby. This little air fry liner makes things 10 times easier. Careful because these things are hot. It's angled at a different way so I can't grab it as easily. There we go. Now we have the chicken. All the mess is contained within this little air fryer liner. Just grab the chicken. Try and leave the juices on there so the juices don't come on. My mom just bought these tongs. I guess they're on sale or something for Valentine's. Trying to leave all that juice within the pan. The broccoli is not sizzling as much, it's cooling down, but it still should be pretty warm for us to eat. So we got the first part, second part. All this chicken juice, I normally have a jar where I put all the grease and the chicken juice in, because you don't really want to put that down the drain. If you live in an apartment, you probably don't care. This is what I do with the excess grease. I like to rinse this off too early on while it's still warm before it all bakes on and crust makes it harder to wash later. Just makes washing dishes 10 times easier. The rest we will rinse off. This jar up. So now we have the chicken, we have the rice, we have the broccoli. We just gotta get the broccoli out of the pan. Turn the burner off, if we did. And voila. Oh, that broccoli is nice and charred. There you go. How to make your basic gym bro diet. Chicken, broccoli, rice. One thing you need left is nice cold Dr. Pepper Zero. Go ahead and make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this content. Leave me ideas in the comments below on what I should make next. Maybe like the protein shakes, the smoothies, things you should eat throughout the week. Let me know.